What's up, fuckers? Aero HD here, and today we have our 4th episode of Build Drift to Kill It this week. Today we are doing the Nissan Silvia S14. I kind of painted it before I started recording, just because I wanted to get the paint right. And as you can probably see, my front bumper didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. This entire car is paint glitched. So before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to Charlie Parra de Riego. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Guy on YouTube. I usually link him in the description when I use his music. Fucking unreal guitar player. And if it wasn't for him, these past couple of videos, they just would have been the sound of. So, I want to say thanks, Charlie, or gracias. I don't know what they speak in Peru. I'm assuming it's Spanish because I'm ignorant. So anyway, what someone may have noticed is that, hey, Aero cut out the tuning because he doesn't want us to steal our tunes and I actually topped that. I didn't tune this car at all. I built it. I put parts on it. It was already painted. I put the body kit and the wheels on it. That's all I did. I built it. Went in the lobby. Didn't tune it. Didn't put a tune on it. Did nothing. I promise you, hand on heart. Today, I sacrificed a good episode, I sacrificed a good car, and I'm not going to be rating the car, and I'm not going to be talking about the car, because it's an S14. People have been asking me to do this. One of the most common cars, and probably one of the most suggested beginner cars in the game. So what I'm going to do is prove my point. When I started to learn how to drift in Forza 2, there was no storefront. The only way you could learn how to tune is on your own, through a friend, which was scarce in Forza 2, because everyone wanted to prove how big their dick was. And or you can get one in the auction house. How trustworthy a person's car was and it said free drift tune on it, very, very seldom it was any good. It's usually some fucking positive camber race tire and piece of shit. So what I learned to do was learn to drift without anything, without no tunes. Honestly, probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my Forza quote-unquote career. What I did was not use tunes, because anytime I tried to tune my car, because I was either too lazy to read the descriptions, like, you know, there's a little blurb that tells you what camber is, what caster does for you. Even that, if you guys just read that, it'll tell you enough of what you want to do for your car. Just reading that told me enough, like, to start trying my own stuff. But even when I'd just try my own stuff and try tunes and like try all this camber and try all this, it would always turn out bad. It would always make it worse. So what I did, I drifted probably and a half with absolutely no tune whatsoever. Because every time, like I said, every time I would try to, like, you know, I'm going to read, and I'm going to study, and I'm going to look at, like, real car setups, and I'm going to do my best, and yeah! And I'd make this tune, and I'd be all proud of it, and then I would go, and it'd be fucking terrible. So, yeah, so I learned, this is how I learned. It's how I learned to drift. And then as soon as I got into Forza 3, a little bit of Forza 3, I transitioned from my, I want to say, it's like a farm team. It was a great team for startup drifters. It was a great team. It's not around anymore, I don't think. It was Blackout Drift. I left that team, and then I made my way onto Smoke and Flow, which at the time was probably one of the biggest teams out there. I'd like to think so. It was a team I've always idolized and always wanted to be on, so I kind of realized a boyhood dream. And after spending a couple months with those guys, they're like, yo, man, what kind of tune are you running on that car? I was like, none. Right? And then like, oh, shit, bro, dog, bro. And then like they sent me a tune I could kind of work off of. By this time, I could already drift fine. Like, I wasn't and still am not the best fucking drifter in the world. But, you know, I could hold my own. I won battles, and I did all that. So they sent me a tune that they liked, that worked for them, that I used for a little while, and I thought was good. And then when I got on to Endless, which is the team I'm on now, my buddy of mine, Impulse, will probably be commenting, yeah, it's me, said he's on the wheel, and I was currently on the wheel. I was just practicing with it, and it's when I had a mount on my desk. And he's like, yo, man, I'll send you a tune for my R34, and da-da-da-da, because we both drifted R34s at the time. And I said, okay. And I looked at his tune, I said, wow, this is really good. And I transferred that onto a couple more cars, and then forgot to change it back when I switched to the controller. I tried these tunes when I was on the controller, and I went, well, holy shit. It's just, you know, it's just very, very good tunes. You know, and in between those two periods, when I was gifted the tune from Smoke and Flow, I would tweak it, you know, I would change the camber, because the guy who sent it to me liked to run -5 front and rear camber. If that works for you, then hey, that works for you. Didn't happen to work for me. So I kind of tweaked that. I tweaked the suspension settings. I tried different stuff with the diff. So yeah, so this is basically to address all these people as saying, yo man, I'm just starting drifting. I've only been drifting like a month or two, and I really need a tune to help me out. I don't want to sound like a dick, because it's usually how I come up in the comments, like I don't want to give you the time of the day. But honestly, the best thing you can do is just drift, man. Just get out there with your controller or your wheel and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. I started and I had no help. I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning for all my summer, because it's just something I've always loved drifting, and I've always wanted to get good at it. And I was like 14, I had nothing better to do with my life. So I just kept practicing and I kept working at it, and then I got to be, you know, good enough. And then I got tunes, which makes, I've always said, I said this in the comments the other day, it makes a good drifter better, not a bad drifter good. And I'm not saying, if you're a beginner, then I can't call you bad. You're not bad, you're a beginner, no one blames you. So people who are buying these tunes, and another thing, people who buy these tunes and expect them to like be the end all of the game, and like, that guy's a fucking asshole, to be the best thing in the world, and then they buy my tunes and they go, well, I don't like this, or well, I'm not satisfied, or well, your tuning settings are wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. It's what works for me. Tuning is dynamic. It's not static. There's not one way to tune. There's a million ways to tune. And there's, you can not tune at all. Tuning does is take a car and make it to a way that you like it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you took something from this and you learned that tuning's not really a big deal in this game. All it does is, you know, it makes it feel better for you. There's not really just one way to tune. I will be tuning this better to put it in the storefront. I'm not going to put it in the store, just put a fucking car in the storefront. That's lazy. And I gotta hurry up. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow on the final, not the final episode, but day 5 of Build It, Drift It, Kill It. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. It's where I'll announce open lobbies or look for people to play with, answer questions, and update you on the latest happenings of Le Aero.